A reading from the Holy Gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ according to St. Luke. There came a man named Jairus, who was ruler of the synagogue, and falling at Jesus' feet, he besought him to come to his house. For he had an only daughter, about 12 years of age, and she was dying. As he went, the people pressed around him, and a woman who had a flow of blood for 12 years had spent all her money upon physicians, and could not be healed by anyone, came up behind him. And she touched the fringe of his garment, and immediately her flow of blood ceased. And Jesus said, "Who was it that touched me?" When all denied it, Peter said, "Master, the multitudes surround you and press upon you." But Jesus said, "Someone touched me, for I perceive that power has gone forth from me." And when the woman saw that she was not hidden, she came trembling, and falling down before him, declared in the presence of all the people why she had touched him, and how she had been immediately healed. And Jesus said to her, "Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace." While he was still speaking, a man from the ruler's house came and said, "Your daughter is dead. Do not trouble the teacher anymore." But Jesus, on hearing this, answered him, "Do not fear, only believe, and she shall be well." And when he came to the house, he allowed no one to enter with him except Peter and John and James, and the father and mother of the child. And all were weeping and bewailing her. But he said, "Do not weep, for she is not dead, but sleeping." And they laughed at him, knowing that she was dead. But taking her by the hand, he called, saying, "Child, arise." And her spirit returned, and she got up at once. And he directed that something should be given her to eat. Ushuha la la minai.
Shuha l'shihara.
Brothers and sisters, we have this gospel always makes me really nervous, because I always put myself in place of Jairus, this man whose daughter was dying. And I don't know, you may have noticed this about me. I'm always in a hurry. Always. I'm always running from one thing to another. I don't know if it's my nature or I just have too much to do. But when I'm in a hurry and something gets in my way, I get very annoyed. And I want to make sure I get to the thing that's waiting for me. Jesus was on his way to heal this little girl. A little girl, 12 years old, she was close to death. Whatever's happening, it can wait. In my mind, I'm thinking I'm like the father of this daughter. Let's go, let's hurry up, whatever's let's. And Jesus, in the middle of the journey to this guy's house, stops. If I was that father, I'd be chewing my fingernails and pulling out my hair. And he's stopping. Jesus is stopping. Somebody touched him. And the Peter, speaking on behalf of the disciples, Peter's kind of speaking what I would think. "Lord, there's a million people are touching you. What are you talking about? We have to go. What do you mean somebody touched you? Why are you stopping? This girl's dying." And Jesus doesn't have to hurry. He doesn't. Because he can raise this girl from the dead, and he knows it. God's goodness doesn't run out. And just because he heals, basically by accident, with the fringe of his garment, she just touched his clothing because she believed in his power. She just touched his clothing. That's how powerful Jesus is. That just touching something that is near him healed her when nobody else in the world could. But his power didn't run out. It was an accident. I hurt people by accident. Jesus heals them by accident. That's what kind of power he has. And so when it comes to human things, yeah, sometimes we have to hurry up. When it comes to God, there's no need to hurry. We get impatient with God. We're asking for some blessing. We're asking for some good thing. We're asking for a grace for our soul. We're trying to become saints. We want God to help us heal from some sin that we're committing, from some bad habit. And we're waiting and waiting for him. It's okay. God is not in a hurry. He knows what he's doing. And if he's giving a blessing to somebody else, and we're, it's kind of natural, we get upset, we get maybe jealous. Why is somebody else getting this blessing? I'm waiting for so long. When is he going to get to me? As if he's going to run out of grace. As if God's power is going to finish and we're not going to get any at the end. Like we're at dinner or after Mass, they're going to run out of the takhrafa, we're not going to have any takhrafa. God's graces are not like that. They're not going to finish. There's going to always be plenty for us. Because God is not a creature. He's not like us. He's not limited. But the other lesson here in the gospel I think is really important. We are not God. And we run out. And sometimes I'm in a hurry because I need to be. And it's a very beautiful custom that Chaldeans have. When you see somebody and you see somebody that you respect and you want to show your respect, you go and you shake their hand. And I really appreciate that. So you acknowledge that person and they acknowledge you. It's beautiful. But sometimes people are doing it when they can see I'm carrying 5 things and I don't have any hand to give them. And I'm in a rush and I get it. But there's a limitation to what humans can do. I notice it because I'm an observer from the outside. Parents, it's like their entire life. There's always just one thing after another that they have to deal with, that they have to worry about. Human beings run out. When you see your wife or your husband or your parents running out, we run out of power. We're not God. And we have only so much, and parents have so many jobs that they have to do. When it's done, it's done. And when the parents, their power is finished for that day, and maybe you didn't get what you want, you got to calm down. They did 1 million things today. They're not God. You have to acknowledge that. And I think you have to do that for yourself as well. And I get it. I get feeling frustrated when you didn't do as much as you wanted to do that day. But you're not God. It's a kind of idolatry to think that you're going to do everything and still have strength at the end. No, that's thinking that you're God. You're not. So be patient with the people around you and be patient also with yourself. Jesus can just heal people by bumping into them. We're not him. So have some patience with yourself and have some hope and some trust in the power of God, which never ever runs out.